So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna figure out how to factor this question. But first thing first, you have to understand this is division. You have to keep change flip. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and factor this. This is called factor by the cube. So it'll be a to the cube plus b to the cube equal to a plus b times a squared minus ab plus b squared. Hopefully you did that. It's SOAP, SOAP. Is that okay? So I don't need to figure out what is a and what is b in this case. So a cubed is equal to x cubed. So a must equal to x. B cubed is equal to 8y to the cube. So what is b equal to? 2y. So be x plus 2y. Is that okay? And that's going to be x squared minus 2xy, I believe, plus 2y squared, so it'll be 4y squared. Is that okay? Yeah. On the bottom, I need to use a box. So this kind is you have to use a box because it has xy mixed term. So 5xy. So 2x and x and 2y and y. So this is a 4xy and a xy. So this is a perfectly matched up. So that's going to be 2x plus y and the x plus 2y. Is that okay? Now I am gonna do this times. I'm gonna keep change flip first. So I am gonna change this. So it'll be ax squared minus 2y squared. And this one I can factor out x, I believe. So that's gonna be x squared minus 2xy plus 4y squared. Is that okay? I factor out x because they all have x term. Now this part here, I'm going to factor more. So I'm going to do this on the side. So I'm going to copy and paste. So I am going to copy and I'm going to paste here. And I'm going to factor that by factor out a 2. Is that okay? So it'll be 4x squared minus y squared. Now hopefully you see that's what? Difference of a square. So it's 2 times 2x minus y and 2x plus y. So it's okay if I erase this part? Is that okay? Okay, so let me delete it. So that is going to be 2 times 2x minus y and 2x plus y. And then hopefully that you see things that you can cancel. Start with the biggest thing. This completely out. X plus 2y and x plus 2y is okay. 2x plus y, 2x plus y. So I got 2 times 2x minus y all over x. Is that the right answer? A lot of factoring. But it's not that bad. You can only cancel if it's a factor. Ben, does that make sense? Yeah. What kind of problem you are heading? Like somebody else will say 30 something. What's question 30 something? Janisha, you said 30 something? You didn't say 34. 34. I'm checking on 34. What's 34 is interesting because there was a negative sign over there. So first of all, I will factor 3x squared plus 4x plus 1 over 3x squared minus 5x minus 2. And I'm going to do keep change flip first. So it'll be negative 5x squared plus 25x minus 30 all over x squared minus 2x minus 3. I just do keep change flip first when I write out the question. Is that okay? So that's going to be 3 This is a 1, this is a 4x. So this is x squared, so it'll be 3x and x. And this is a 1 and 1, this is 3x and this is x. So you should get 3x plus 1 times x plus 1. And that's this part. So I'm going to do it on the other side. 3x squared minus 2 minus 5x. So 3x and x, and this is 2 and 1. So this is going to be 6x and x. This one's going to be negative. So that will be 3x plus 1 times x minus 2. Is that okay so far? I will take out a negative 5 here just because I think if I take out negative 5, my life's easier. So that's going to be x squared minus 5x plus 6. So if I take out negative 5 here, that's going to be x minus 3 and x minus 2. I factor out negative 5 first. So they will change all the sign here. So that's going to be positive, negative, and then positive. On the bottom, it's going to be x minus 3, x plus 1. Holy shit, everything cancels out. That's pretty cool. Negative 5. When you cancel, please write down 1, because sometimes if you don't write down 1, you don't hold that in place. So sometimes you got like, instead of 1 over x plus 2, you got x plus 2, because you did not hold that 1 in place. So when you cancel something, write 1 next to it. It will help you as far as getting the right answers. Can I move on? So how do I add those two together? Do they have a same denominator?
They do not.
They do not. So what are you supposed to do? You had to multiply to make a same denominator. What's LCD here? X minus 2, x plus 3, right? Why do I know that? Imagine this is 2, this is 3, right? Imagine that this is 2. Oops. Imagine that this is a 2 and this is 3. The least common denominator is going to be 2 times 3. But in this case, is x minus 2 and x plus 3. So I'm going to multiply this side by... Oh, sorry. Let me change it to negative sign because I want to change this to negative sign. I don't like this is positive sign because positive sign is too easy. So negative sign here. So that means I need this side to be x plus 3. And you don't want to cancel anything. And this one's going to be x minus 2 over x minus 2. Because you cancel, just go back to before. Now you can see that this is going to be x plus 3 times x minus 2. And this is x plus 3 minus x minus 2. Especially you don't want to cancel anything now. Because you cannot cancel nothing here. They are all addition and subtraction on the top. So it'll be x plus 3 minus x minus 2. You have to make sure to distribute this. So it'll be x plus 3 and x minus 2. And that's equal to 1 over x plus 3 and x minus 2. And that will be your final answer because this cancel out. 3 minus 2 is 1, so it's 1. What happened?
Wouldn't it be negative x plus is x minus 2 and you're distributing that negative sign? So it's negative.
Oh, you're right. You're right. Sorry. This is a plus. I make a mistake. I'm so sorry. Thank you, Winston. So yeah, you do have you have to minus, I forgot to distribute. I write it down, but I didn't distribute. Yes.
For the test, are we gonna have to keep it in factored form on the bottom? We just keep it in factored.
Yes, and I'm gonna say why factor form is better. Always leave your thing in factor form. Because if you don't leave your thing in factor form, for example, if I want to find domain, I still had to factor the bottom once you boil together, right? In this case, what if I want to find domain? The domain is going to be negative infinity to -3, and union from -3 to 2, and union from 2 to infinity. Now, if you have everything FOIL together, are you ever going to see the zeros? So it's always better to leave things in the factor form, because factor form can be canceling too, right? Okay. Is that okay? So how about this? Let's say if I have 5 over 6x squared y and minus 7 over 2x 4y like this. Oh, y to the, let's just say, so this one's to the, let's just say this one's to the third. Can those two subtract? No, why not? Huh? They don't what? They don't have the same denominator, right? So what will be the least common denominator in this case? What'd you say, Miranda? What'd you say? No. Least common denominator. What will be the least common denominator here?
3xy.
No. What'd you say? No. What? No. So you have to decide 6x squared y to the third versus 2x to the fourth y, right? The way to pick up the common denominator is always take care of the number first. What is the least common denominator between 6 and 2? Who says 8? It's not 8. 8 is going to be bad. What's the least common denominator between 6 and 2? It's not 2 either. 6, good job. Because 6 can divide it by 6, and 6 can divide it by 2, right? Now, the x, you got a choice between 2 and 4. You're going to choose the higher power. Is that okay? So what's the higher power here? 4. And then y, what do I choose? 3. So this is 6x to the fourth, y to the 3. Is that okay? Now what do I need to multiply this to make it 6x 4 y to the 3?
You can multiply by x. It's like
X squared over x squared, right? Is that enough? Yep. How about this side?
3y squared.
3y squared, 3y squared. Good. So then you will have 5x squared minus 21 y to the second over 6x to the fourth, y to the third. Now, can anything simplify here? The x squared and the x to the fourth? Sophia, what do you think?
I think the x4, don't you like simplify the x that's going up? Like maybe the
Nothing can be simplified here.
just the negative.
Yeah. Nothing can be simplified here because if you simplify, it has to be a factor. I mean, you can split them, but then you go back to before. So which is you don't want to split them. But this is the best way to combine two fractions. And you cannot simplify anything. If you simplify like this, you say that's x squared, this is x squared, this is wrong. This is completely wrong. Because every time you simplify, has to be a factor. Is that okay? So what if I just ask you 2 of 5x 3y to the second minus 3 over 6x y to the third. So can I subtract those two together?
No.
You can subtract them,
Oh, yeah.
but not right now, right? So you need to look at least common denominator. Remember last time, how do I decide? I look at a 6 and 2. I want to pick a number can be divisible by both. In this case, it's 6. And I look at an x, I'm going to pick a higher power. I look at a y, I'm going to pick a higher power of each one. So that's how you determine LCD here. So think about what LCD is going to be first. Yes. So LCD is going to be 30, x to the third, y to the third. Did you guys get that? Okay, so what do I need to multiply on that side? 6. X is enough. Y, right? 6y over 6y. Is that okay? And what do I need to multiply on that side? 5x squared over 5x squared. So therefore, it's going to be equal to 30x to the third, y to the third. And this is 12y minus 15x squared. Is there anything I can simplify?
No.
Don't simplify anything because it's adding and subtracting on top. It's not a factor. If it's a factor, you have a parenthesis x, y on the top, then you can cancel 1 to the x, y. So make sure you don't make those mistakes. Is this okay? Okay, so how do I subtract this? Now, what do you have to do at the bottom? Factor. Because once you factor, you can decide what's LCD. So you have to factor at the bottom. Mia Jordan here. Is Vicente here? Oh, boy. So now I'm gonna factor the bottom. Is that okay? And I'm gonna factor here x minus 3 and x plus 2, right? So then what's the LCD here though? What's the LCD? Well, we're gonna pick what do they have in common first. So in this case, they both have in common is x plus 2. So this is x plus 2. This is what do they have in common? Okay? What do they have in different? X minus 3, x minus 2. So I'm going to use different color here. X minus 3 and x minus 2. So list up what I have in common, and this is what I have in different. So this is going to be the difference. Does that make sense? So what do I need to multiply on this side? X minus 3 over x minus 3. And what do I need to multiply on this side? Yep. Now, can anything cancel? The thing is no. Yes. Yeah, good. So I can distribute, I can just say that bottom is x minus 3 now, x plus 2, x minus 2, and then it's going to be 4x minus 12. Is that okay? Minus 3x, and make sure I distribute. I don't want to make the same mistake as last time. Last time, Winston kind of helped me. So that's going to be plus 6. So it would have left out as x minus 6 over x minus 3, x plus 2, x minus 2. Does that make sense? Did anybody got that? Rest of you guys need to know how to add and subtract. Back to the bottom, look what they have in common. List it down first. And look at the difference, what they have difference. List it down. And then you see what you're missing on each side. You can add them together. Got it? How much time I have? Oh, I have a lot of time. Okay, let's talk about complex fraction. Okay, so a complex fraction is a fraction within fraction. We already done it before, but we'll deal with numbers before. This time I'm gonna deal with I need to make sure that you guys understand how to do them. So, start with this one. 5 x to the negative 1 minus 2y to the negative 1 all over 25 x to the negative 2 minus 4y to the negative 2. Okay, I'm going to show you 3 ways to approach this same questions. But first thing first, I want you to make sure you understand there's a difference between those two. 5x to the negative 1 and a 5x to the negative 1. Do you guys see the difference between those two? Can you simplify correctly and tell me what's the right thing for each? This one is phi over x. Did you guys get that? Negative exponent. This is 1 over 5x. Do you see there's a big difference between those two? Did everybody get this one right? Sydney, is that okay? Understand? Larissa, understand? Because 1 is only x to the negative 1, and 1 is the whole thing to the negative 1. So therefore, you can change that. So the first thing I will do is I will probably do this first. Do you guys do that? It's okay? Do you guys know what to do next? How do I simplify this? Huh? For where? For the top, right? Or for the bottom, or both? Both. Good. So remember, this is order operation, right? There's a parenthesis invisible there. That means you should do those two first. That means you need to combine those. So what is the least common denominator for the top? XY, right? So what do I need to multiply for the phi over x? Y over y. And how about this side? X over x. How about this side? Y squared over y squared. And this x squared over x squared. Is that okay? Now, can I change this xy? This is 5y minus 2x over 25 y squared minus 4x squared over x squared y squared. Am I going too fast? So 5y minus 2x over xy times, well, it's this fraction divided by this fraction, right? Keep change flip, right? Is that okay? Can I factor the 25y minus 4x squared? That's going to be 5y plus 2x and 5y minus 2x, right? Now, can those things cancel out? Does that make sense? What else can cancel out?
X1.
XY, good. So we're going to cancel 1x, 1x, 1y, 1y. So it'll be xy over 5y plus 2x. So this is called a complex fraction. Complex fraction is a little bit more difficult. This is probably going to be the hardest question on your test to understand how to deal with. Slowly take the time, go through it. Yes, you are going to get a complex fraction. Sure. I will find, see if we can have a question that deal with complex fraction. I don't like this one. How much time we have? Cool. You ready? Be careful. You guys do okay? Are you still working on it? This one's equal to what? 1 over 2x, right? Is that okay? Plus 1 over 2 over x, right? So you need to multiply this by 2x over 2x. This is x over x. Is that okay? So that's 2x of 1 plus 2x. On the bottom is 2 minus x over x. Keep change flip. 1 plus 2x. 2x times x over 2 minus x. This x cancel out. So it'll be 1 plus 2x over 2 times 2 minus x. You good? Winston, did you mess up here? I post today's homework. Those answers on this one, but those 6 questions from that, and there are some other question for the other one. So I'm posting second picture here. So it's a long worksheet, but I only pick 6 questions from there. Okay, I only pick 6 questions for that. There's answer in the back. The second one I'm gonna post right now with a complex fraction. And this one, I'm gonna choose the question as well. So 21. $35. $45. Second page, I have 4 questions, so total 10 questions. Total 10 questions. If you're wondering how do I do the question a little bit faster, and if you guys want to try that, you can, but that's more risky. But there are faster way to do this question. So if you're interested, I'm gonna go over right now. But that's harder though. It's harder. But it's faster. So if I do this question, it says 5 over x minus 2 over y over 25x squared minus 4 over y squared. What you can actually do is recognize what's the least common denominator for everything. So the least common denominator for everything, it's actually x squared y squared. So you can multiply top part by x squared, y squared, and x squared and y squared here. So you can do that. Now this is a harder way. I feel like for a lot of students, I feel like the first way is better. This one will give you 5x y squared. And this one is going to be minus 2 x squared y, right? On the bottom, it's going to be 25y squared minus 4x squared. And you can factor out x, y on the top. So that's going to be 5y minus 2x. And you can say 5y plus 2x and 5y minus 2x. This cancel out and you're going to get the same answer. It's shortened by a little bit, but it's a little bit faster. You don't have to do it this way. I feel better with the first way for most of you guys. It's just combine fractions and keep change flip. And you're doing the same thing as before. Before you do a number, now you deal with the expressions. So I post a homework, can start now if you want. But there's only 2 minutes left. I do need to talk to Christopher, Camila. We'll wait until everybody. I would need you to email her if you're
Email
interested.
her? Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
because
Oh,
otherwise-
I'm waiting. I already emailed her. I'm waiting for my meeting because I did I have to talk to her about other stuff, so I already emailed her.
but I think will be you're a junior or senior.
Okay.
So yeah, there's no reason
Okay.
to take it that fast.
Yeah.
Because you're on track to be BC calculus. Just not everybody need BC. So what you can do is you can do pre-cal honor this year with Miss Shy, but you still can